Yo, what's up guys, Teacher Paul here, and what? That's a prison? Did you guys see the thumbnail? That is not a prison. Look at this. Bro, that's insane. If that's a prison, then what do luxury hotels look like in Norway? So this is a coffee request. Thank you so much for the request from Bertil. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but it says a video of how liberal Norway's open prisons are. Wow. Okay, this is a video from the channel Mr. Luxury, and this is the most luxurious prison in the world, apparently in Norway. Wow. Bro, I can't believe that is a prison, honestly. And I don't think, I'm gonna say it right now, I don't think the prisoners deserve it, if that's the case. Let's go. Let's check this out.
The most luxurious prison in the world. As someone who aspires to be a man of class, I've tended to avoid prison, as it is a grotesque and depressing institution, as well as rather unfashionable. Prisons are used to separate criminals from society, and they tend not to care as much about living conditions and comfort as they do security and discipline. Prisons are cold places of solitude for poor souls who went down the wrong path, or even worse, were falsely accused. Prison is simply a place no one should ever want to be. It's likely that any movie you've seen relating to prison is about breaking out of one. And this makes sense, as prison should be a place of punishment and correction. But
although I have watched a film where he is trained to find the flaws of the prison. I think that's with Sylvester Stallone.
One prison, however, has decided to break from this mold and created a prison with living conditions like no other. And while I would never commit a crime heinous enough to deserve a prison sentence, if I had to, I'd do it in Norway.
Oh, come
Bastoy
on.
prison in Norway.
Does that not influence people to actually want to go to prison? I mean, how many people are in dire straits that maybe prison would be better for them? I don't know about Norway. I don't know, maybe Norway has such high quality living conditions that even this type of prison will make them think twice. But let's see the prison first, and then we'll talk.
I'd do it in Norway. Bastoy prison in Norway is the most luxurious prison on the planet. Located on Bastoy Island in the Oslo Fjord, this unique prison is home to a little over 100 inmates. Norway is known for their liberal prison reform. Rarely do sentences of any kind exceed 21 years in the country, and most of them last less than a year. The country has established many open prisons like this one in Bastoy that are low security institutions with the goal of helping inmates build skills applicable to the outside world.
Okay,
so they will be
sense.
better off when they are released than they were before the arrest. All of the inmates in Bastoy have been transferred to the island from other, hopefully less lavish, penitentiaries. With good behavior, a prisoner in Norway can apply to be transferred and must be reviewed and deemed significantly rehabilitated.
Everybody will ask to go there. You know, everybody will ask to be transferred to this prison. But guys, honestly, like I do believe in reform, in, you know, having the prisoners learn skills and, you know, just become a better person and learn things that might help them outside. But I don't know if luxury is the best thing. But let's see. Let's keep going.
The vetting process also includes a psychological exam that determines whether or not the inmate is likely to try and escape the prison. The applications are available to essentially any of the male inmates in Norway, including rapists and murderers. In fact, one inmate that spent time at this low-security prison got himself thrown into the pen by murdering 2 people with a chainsaw. If it were me, I would have only admitted inmates who stopped after 1 chainsaw murder. But
yeah, that was very sarcastic, but bro, come on. You're telling me that the guy did that and he's probably living a better life than the victims, the family? Because the victims are dead, obviously, but I'm talking about the family of the victims.
You'll soon see why these men are eager to apply to Bastoy and leave behind whatever dungeon they reside in. Bastoy is said to be the cushiest prison in the world, and trust me, it's downright cushy. The first glaring difference between Bastoy and what you'd expect from a typical prison is the living accommodations. If any college students are watching, I'm sorry to say, but the decor in the inmates' rooms at Bastoy rivals more of a higher-end dormitory than a place meant to house a criminal. The inmates are allowed lots of belongings and decorations in their rooms, including TVs, making the rooms indistinguishable from the typical bedroom of a free man. The inmates live in cherry-red wooden cottages or the big white mansion in the center of the island, with hallways that resemble that of a comfortable, perhaps dated, bed and breakfast.
Nah, there must be an explanation. There must be a plausible explanation for this. No, I can't believe this, guys. Like, it's luxury life for a prisoner, for a person who committed a heinous crime.
Outside, a collection of buildings, each with a different purpose, some recreational, some work-related, stand tall on the small island. There's a public beach on the island, accessible by an inmate-ran ferry. Horses roam around the gravel roads. There are tennis courts, a sauna, plenty of places to fish.
No way, you did not tell me there's a sauna there. Bro, you can't even say to the criminal, hey, don't sweat it, because they're actually gonna sweat in the sauna. No, honestly, I was even gonna say, you know, but of course, nothing pays the price of freedom, but they still have freedom because it's an open prison. They still have time outdoors.
Ferry. Horses roam around the gravel roads. There are tennis courts, a sauna, plenty of places to fish. There are cows to milk and there are chickens to gather eggs from. Most of the work assigned to the inmates is related to the farmland on the property. The prison hands...
Let me guess, they're allowed to say no to the work? Are they allowed to say no? Oh, come on, man. But, oh man, come on. Oh man, imagine the family watching this video, the family of the victims. That doesn't seem like a punishment, to be honest.
Work assigned to the inmates is related to the farmland on the property. The prison hands responsibility to the inmates by offering them different options in terms of their daily work.
Oh, come on, you have options? Bro, how many of you watching right now, how many of you have options of jobs? Bro, when I was working like a 9-to-5 job, I had to take whatever was given to me. Obviously, I you know, studied to become a teacher, and that helped me follow a career path. But before that, anything that was good, you know, gotta pay the bills. Now they have options, and what, they get paid too?
In terms of their daily work, inmates at Bastoy can make their own decisions regarding how to carry out their respective sentences. Some have chosen to work with the various animals, feeding the horses in the stable, raising cattle, sheep, or lambs. Others have filled positions such as chefs, grocery store managers, carpenters, mechanics, and, as I mentioned earlier, ferry operators. The farming has provided the prison with a menu that you wouldn't believe. Instead of the stale food plopped on a metal tray you might imagine when you think of prison food,
what do they get?
The men at Bastoy enjoy a menu that includes fish balls with white sauce and shrimp, chicken con carne, salmon, and much more. Maybe you're not one for fish balls.
Bro, while other people's in other parts of the world, they don't even have access to meat. Where I come from, meat is so expensive that people, they don't eat meat. Maybe once every 6 months. They eat eggs, and still eggs are getting more expensive now, but bro, or just broth, you know, just so that you can have the taste of meat.
Salmon, and much more. Maybe you're not one for fish balls, but those meals are up to the standards of someone indulging on vacation. If someone were sent to the island and was never told they were standing on the prison ground of rapists, murderers, and heroin traffickers, they would more likely guess they were at a resort.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And by the way, if it doesn't feel like a resort enough, the inmates are taken on an annual skiing trip each winter.
No way,
there are no
you're
barbed
lying.
wire fences or spotlights on the island. Besides the obvious similarities, Bastoy and Alcatraz have essentially nothing in common. The inmates are required to check in several times a day with the guards so that their whereabouts are known. In other words, escaping this prison would be a cakewalk. The governor of Bastoy prison gives a speech to new inmates in which he says, "If you should escape and make it across the water to the free shore, find a phone and call so I know you're okay so we don't have to send the Coast Guard looking for you. So, if you escape, just give them a call so they know how things are going." Overnight, no more than 5 guards stay on the island to keep watch over the 115 criminals.
Okay,
amazingly, the great...
But then again, who will want to escape a prison like this? Oh, this sounds like a joke, guys. Is this real? Surely this causes outrage to a lot of people, right? Surely this isn't a proud moment, is it? I'm confused. I come from a country that prisons are the worst place on earth. But then again, if you think about it, people, they're not demotivated by that either. It's interesting. Maybe Norway has something going. Maybe Norway, has the key of reforming people. Because even in the worst conditions of a prison, people still are reoffenders and they still go back to prison. I want to see the result. I want to see the success rate in Norway. Are people going back, or are they reoffenders, or is this actually changing them for the good? Because you're actually teaching people how to be, how to live in a society, I would suppose.
Over the 115 criminals. Amazingly, the greatest security Bastoy provides is the fact that it is such a low security, easy place to be. Simply put, the prisoners don't want to escape, because if they did and were to be caught, they would be sent to a harsher, maximum security prison. You know, the kind that doesn't let you sunbathe on the beach.
Oh, no,
if an inmate is within 18 months of their release, they are allowed to get a job outside of the island, provided that they come back by their own means each night before midnight. You might be asking,
that's
do the
fair.
prisoners...
An open prison has that system, so yeah, even in Brazil, I've been to an open prison, not because I committed a crime. I was there to film it wasn't a documentary, it was more of a TV, how do you call this? I don't know the name of it, but let's say it was a documentary, but for TV, because if you don't know, I worked in the TV station, so I've been to a few prisons in Brazil, and there are the different types of sentences, and the open prison, they allow people to go out, have their work and stuff, but then they have to sleep in jail. They have to come back before 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. They can leave at 10 and come back at 7. So it's half a sentence.
Of the island, provided that they come back by their own means each night before midnight. You might be asking, do the prisoners even want to leave Bastoy? While it doesn't seem like such a bad place to be, the answer to that question is always yes. One prisoner commented, "It's still prison. In your mind, you're locked up." While the prison offers a multitude of freedoms that other prisons take away, it still separates the criminal from his family. The island holds just 115 prisoners, all of whom are male. The goal of this camp, prison, is to keep the prisoners from reoffending after they're released and sent back into the free world. Officials at the Bastoy prison claim that just 16% of inmates released end up reoffending within the next 2 years. The 3-year reoffense rate from prisons in the United States is closer to 50%, give or take 3 or 4% depending on which source you choose. Although the numbers are compelling, Bastoy is still a highly controversial subject in academia. So, that's Bastoy prison for you. Truly a bizarre place where one can be sentenced to swinging a racket through a tennis ball after swinging a chainsaw through a person. From dealing cocaine to hitting the slopes each winter, from rape to raising cattle, the Norwegian approach to prison is unlike any other. At the moment, Norway has just 3,600 incarcerated criminals. The United States has 2.3 million. Relative to population, the US has 10 times more incarcerated criminals than Norway.
I was gonna say there's a percent population, but he said relative, so okay, 10 times more.
The approach to prisoning in Norway is meant to mirror that of parenting, while in the United States, it feels more like a warehousing of criminals.
Yeah.
In which a bad person is thrown in a room for a while so that they can't harm the public for an extended period of time. Norway has earned a reputation with its revolutionary approach to punishment of crime. As mentioned earlier, the maximum prison sentence in Norway is almost always 21 years. The penalty for crimes against humanity, like genocide and war crimes, are given a 30-year maximum. One case of great controversy is that of Anders Behring Breivik. Breivik was responsible for a bombing and shooting spree last year, which left 77 people dead, some of which were children. The country's progressive approach to prison sentencing expects nearly every prisoner to return to society. Because it's likely in less than 30 years, Breivik will once again walk freely, and while much less likely, it's still possible he could end up in a minimum security prison like Bastoy.
Oh. Okay, what is the death penalty stance in Norway? I would love to know that. Bro, I'm sorry, this is just, what the heck?
The debate is raging in Norway. Clearly, the institution of prison isn't something us humans have perfected. One of the biggest problems that occurs when someone is sent to prison is that they are separated from their family. This is usually a problem.
Some don't even have family.
That is brought on by the poor decisions of the criminal, but the consequences apply to far more than just the one who gets locked up. What if a prison sentence keeps a baby from being able to grow up with a father? What if the crime the father committed, while worthy of a prison sentence, isn't worthy of separating him from his child's early life? This presents a moral issue for the state who has locked up the father. So, if you're planning on robbing any banks anytime soon, I'd say book a flight to Norway and find yourself something suitable. I'm sure you could find some luxury comfort over there. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury, and thank you for watching this video. Pip pip da doodly doo.
Mr. Luxury holds no punches. Bro. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I don't condone this. I don't agree with this. I don't think that... Oh man. Okay, but this may work in Norway because it feels like Norway's living standards are so good that even this looks like it's a, you know, it's a punishment. Because hey, you're gonna be locked up. You know, you won't be able to choose your skiing resort, or you won't be able to go there twice a year, only once a year, you know. Man, oh, that is such a weird, controversial topic. I think it's supposed to be, right? Because I don't think 100% of people are behind this, are supporting this. And I understand the fact that, look, I agree with two things. I agree that you need to educate people because sometimes they had no access to education. They don't know better. Some people don't know better. Some people were, you know, exposed to the wrong influence. And so I think they need to be re-educated. And two, I think they need to work and develop their skills so that they can go back into society. Okay, these two things, fine. Serve your time, develop a skill, you know, improve your mindset, be a human, become a human. That's serving your time. But they should not have more luxury than a normal citizen. I don't have shrimp in my menu. I don't have salmon all the time. Like, you know, salmon, shrimp. These are expensive delicacies, you know. And I don't have a sauna. I don't have access to a sauna. I don't have access to a tennis court. I don't have, you know. It's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. They're supposed to be there in a punishment, but it's actually a prolonged vacation. You know, obviously, I think this video doesn't show the cons, the bad side to it. There must be some bad sides. There must be, like, maybe they're locked up for I don't know. I don't know what the bad side is, the downside, but there must be a downside here, and this might be just one of the prisons in Norway. Not all prisons are alike. I do understand that, or I hope that's the case. But still, when you're talking about crimes such as, you know, taking the lives of so many people, that is absolutely unacceptable. How could you treat such a person with luxury? That really gets me, oh man, that really gets me angry. Like, bro, that should not be a thing. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you agree with this? What are the explanations to this? I know that people think that maybe the psychology behind this is we're gonna expose them to a luxury life, because once they taste the good stuff, they will want to pursue that. But then again, if people, bro, that could easily backfire if that's the whole case. Because after somebody has the good stuff in the prison, the luxury prison, and they go back and they see that reality doesn't provide that to them, they will rob a bank to try to get rich, to go back to that lifestyle they had. Or if they get caught again, then they just go back to the same lifestyle as they did before. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Not to mention, there must be contraband. How will you prevent contraband in such an open prison? You know what I'm saying? Oh man. I'm gonna wait and read your comments and probably do a part 2. But Bertil, thank you so much for this request. This was a great video. Thank you for the coffee. Thank you for the request. If you guys want to request a coffee, request a video, just buy me a coffee. And bro, let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more. The link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right.